Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, October the 14th, 2022. Friday, October 14th, 2022. Well, we have, let me start with, I think I want to start with Jack and Ashley. Jack happens to run into Ashley at Society. And he goes, "Can I join you?" And she's like, "Well, actually, Jackie, I'm meeting somebody. I'm meeting Tucker." And he, "Why would you meet him?" He instantly starts in on Tucker, right? In on Tucker. Okay. "Oh, you don't need to meet him. She's like, Jackie, I got it all under control. Don't you even worry about Tucker." And so she said, "But look, he's late." Not knowing that Tucker is actually talking to Devon. And the funny thing is, he did not try to rush Devon out of there, even though he knew he was really standing Ashley up. He talked honestly to Devon. Devon actually believed him, but is still cautious of him because he says, "Why would I hurt my own son? Why would I do that? I would not do that to you." Because in my mind, if Tucker took Chancellor Winters, Tucker would give it back he would give it to his son. He really would. Because Tucker doesn't need it. He doesn't need that. Taken from his son and completely severing that relationship, he's not willing to do. Taking over Jabot, he's willing to do that. Taking over Newman Enterprises, he's willing to do that, but he's not going to hurt Devon. He really isn't. And you know what was interesting? I was thinking a little history. This is going to get off topic for just a moment. Does anybody? Well, I know a lot of you do because you're diehard Young and the Restless fans. But anybody remember when Devon was deaf in one ear? Remember that? He used to wear the cochlear implant, right? It was Tucker that flew him to Switzerland or flew the Switzerland doctor in and got Devon that miracle cutting edge surgery that restored his hearing. It was Tucker that did that. See, really, all Tucker has to do is get wind of Nate's hand injury. And Tucker, well, that is until Nate was the Benedict Arnold, but Tucker would have said, "Hey, I got a clinic in Switzerland that can help you with that. They brought me back from the brink of death from that accident." Bottom line, Nate's surgeries were only in Genoa City. Okay. There's higher, more cutting edge surgeries that could repair nerve damage. Period. Okay. Why has that not happened? Devon's a billionaire. He could have paid for, they just never looked into that. They really didn't. And Devon is thinking Nate was more accepting of what he could and couldn't do, not really knowing Nate wasn't accepting that was a contention of his. This is taken away. Well, let's get it restored, buddy. Do you know the advances they have in robotics? They could have done a lot to get back that movement in his hand because he seems to move it pretty well to me. Okay, but I guess it's the fine-tunedness of holding a scalpel and all of that. Okay, well, let's get some medical attention on that. Could have happened. But anyway, he talked calmly. He talked rationally to Devon. And he said, "Who is this mole? Who is the person?" Because Devon's like, "Well, we already know who it is." "Okay, well, who is it?" And he goes, "You sure asking a lot of questions." And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, actually, no, you're coming saying there was a mole giving IPO information. And actually, did he say IPO, or did he say sensitive information? No, I think he did say IPO at this point, because look, at this point now you telling him you got an IPO going if he didn't know, right? But Tucker, I'm glad Devon is like, you know what? I'm gonna take you as your word. I'm going to do that. You know, and he apologized. I apologize for coming in here the way I did, accusing you. I apologize for that. You know, and he goes, okay, then look, do you want me to find out the company that was being courted? You know, Tucker's saying, and Devon's like, I have resources too. He goes, I got resources. I can find out things for you. And Devon says, I have resources too, Tucker. And in my mind, I'm thinking, but not like Tucker. Tucker's used to devious things. His people are used to digging in dirt and everything else. Devon is not. He don't have those kind of people. So anyway, Devon will do you. You do you. You know, and Lily is still. They didn't really actually show. No, they did not show Lily. You know, Lily's probably still thinking, should we go public or not? When the answer is, that's not even a thought. Don't even think that. No, no. You came just this close to losing everything. Devon, when they talk next week, needs to let her know the IPO for me is an absolute no-go. It was too soon from the beginning, Lily. It was too soon. We're going to tell Jill no. Or if it's not no, I'm going to buy my company out from under the Chancellor umbrella. If you all want to do it and you don't understand how close you came to losing it all, I'm not participating. I will separate my own company out. And we shall see. Because Devon has been in business longer than Lily. I mean, can anybody remember before Lily went to jail and Lily, Devon and Neil gave her the opportunity to do her own little online, I think like fashion editing or something she was doing, editorials on fashion or something. And she was pretty much, her little area was off of Devon's, the main suite, because, you know, they all work in the same office, but she had a little corner over there. And she was just learning how to run a business. And Devon was mentoring her like Neil was mentoring her. But she ultimately answered to Devon, you know. And then after the accident, you know, with the Hillary situation, and it came out that she was the one that, you know, she was the one that unfortunately took her eyes off the road, and that's how the accident happened. That's when they stopped that business, you know, because he wasn't even talking to Lily. He didn't even want to look at her. He went through a very destructive phase. Well, yeah, you know, his wife and his child died, or as a matter of fact, they had not been married yet. He married her on her deathbed. You know, married her. But anyway, that's completely off topic with what happened. You know, I think I'm talking about stuff because not a lot happened, right? I'm just throwing in a little history, y'all. Throwing in a little history, okay? So now Jack and Ashley are kind of finishing up. Oh, Jack says, look, Ashley says, look, Jackie, I'm just gonna be stringing Tucker along. That's it. And he's like, why? To get information out of him, Jackie. You do know the Bentley he gave Kyle in summer is the same Bentley Diane, or possibly the same Bentley Diane was driving around in Los Angeles with. And Jack's like, Diane? What does Tucker have to do with Diane? And Ashley's like, Tucker could have something to do with Diane, especially if it's the same Bentley, Jackie. Because remember, Diane was leading a meager life. Okay, when you're involved with Tucker, that's not no meager life with your head down. She goes, no. And he goes, well, you're just, you and Nikki. I'm surprised she didn't, and he really didn't throw in Phyllis. He goes, you and Nikki, you guys could ruin another person's life, digging in, making out like, she goes, look, we are investigating. Okay. Yes, we are. And Tucker could have a part in Diane's activities. And in my mind, I'm thinking, Jack, you up in arms, haven't been able to think for a couple of days now since the wedding. The thought of Tucker even speaking to your sister, but you're supposed to accept what everybody's supposed to have forgiven Diane. Tucker hurt Ashley, yes. But to me, with dealing with what actually went down, dirty deed for dirty deeds, Diane's dirty deeds were worse than Tucker's dirty deeds. But I'm trying to get along with Kyle. I'm trying to get along with Diane for Kyle and Summer and for the sake of my grandchild. Well, guess what? Ashley and Tucker have a grandchild in common, don't they? They are both little Dominic's grandparents. Wow, isn't that interesting how that happened? They're both grandparents to the same grandson. So Tucker comes and Ashley looks, he goes, Ashley, I'm sorry, I'm late. She goes, late? Pretty much you stood me up. And he's like, something came up and I just had to handle it. And Jack is standing there looking like, what? And he goes, I'm sorry. And Ashley's like, you know what, Tucker, it's okay. It is okay. Because I was really just going to tell you, bottom line, at the end of all of this, that you didn't stand a chance. Really. So this saves me having to deal with the whole evening just to tell you that, Tucker. So anyway, fellas, ciao. And Ashley is taking her leave. And Tucker's looking like, it's all right. I'll get you to another dinner. Stuff just rolls right off of him. So he turns and he's gonna walk away. And then Jack says, Tucker. And I guess now Jack wants to talk to Tucker, but we all know that's the same. Stay away from my sister. Same song and dance. That's all that's going to be. But Tucker's just gonna barely humor Jack, barely humor him, and Jack is just going to end up so frustrated. So as Ashley's walking away, Jack says, Ashley, about that other matter we were going to talk about, you're going to drop it, right? And she looks at him and she smiles. She says, not a chance. Like, oh no, Diane, oh no, it's not being dropped. And he's just looking like, oh, you know how Jack goes, yeah, Jack. So that was Jack. And then we have Chloe. Chloe is talking to Nick. Once they find out, it's an okie doke, and it's probably Adam. Chloe's like, oh, no, you have to go over there right now. You have to go over there right now and stop it. And he goes, no, why? Because we don't want Adam to get his hooks back in Sally and this, that, and the other. And if you won't do it, she's picking up her phone. I'm going to put a stop to it. And in my mind, I'm thinking, see, Chloe, this is where you go overboard. You are not her mother. You are not her sister. You work for her. Stay out of it. Leave it alone. As a matter of fact, you should have been taking a cue from the man that's been sleeping with her. Well, what if he gets his hooks in her? What if and Nick is like, Sally and Adam still have unresolved feelings for each other. They need to resolve them. You're putting too little faith in Sally. Sally needs to make her own choices. he says, would I love it to be me? Yes. But ultimately, I need to let them, like finish their own relationships. Sally needs the one, because really that's going to be the only one who can. Nick, there's nothing Nick can do to get in the, yeah, he may pull her off of there today, but Adam will have her right back somewhere in the country tomorrow. Get out of here. So he was just like, no, give her credit. Let her work out whatever she needs to work out. That's what I'm going to do. So Chloe's finally like, oh, fine. But see, here's the thing. Once Adam finally convinced her to just stay and have dinner, I'm telling you, I have not seen Sally Spectra this happy in months, Nick included. Sally, you don't really see happiness in Sally. You see Sally going through the motions with Nick. You see Sally putting on the coy Sally persona. See, she's wanting to keep him interested in her, but he doesn't really interest Sally. She wants him to be interested in her, but she's really not interested in him. She wants to use somebody to get over Adam, but she's not over Adam. And when she broke her guard down at this dinner, they were both genuinely laughing with each other. Just the gelling and the meshing and the jokes and she was just, she was herself. I mean, they just had a ball. And she was actually letting her guard down. She was saying how much she missed him. I mean, it got there. And then when he brought up Nick, she decided to get defensive. Oh, so is this what this is all about? I'm some trophy, this, that, and the other, so you could one up your brother. And I'm thinking, no, Sally, that's really Nick. Really, it's really Nick more than it's Adam. Adam did you dirty. Adam broke your heart. But Adam always planned on circling back around. Unfortunately, he didn't expect you to fall for that type, his brother type. That's not her type, right? He would expect that of Sharon because that's Sharon's type, her history, and everything else. Adam truly was not Sharon's type. She just always felt she had to save Adam. But anyway, now Sally's all defensive. Now she's ready to put, and I almost fell right back into it, and this, that, and the other. And that's what she's really mad at. This is the best night she's had in a long time. The best. She and Nick sit around anywhere. You know what? They look at each other and they say, so what should we talk about? So what do we call this? So what shall we do going forward? This night with Adam was just friends enjoying a night, having a great time, and really realizing they have way more in common than not, and really like each other. So that's where that was. And I felt good watching it. And I thought that's who you need to be with, Sally. And if you can't figure that out, girl, you will. See, so just like he broke her down in the matter of an hour or two. See, the way they're leaving it now, I don't know. She's so mad. He's gonna have to come back with something special on Monday to get her calmed down again, because bottom line, in order for there to be a true triangle, she's gonna have to sleep with Adam again. But that hasn't happened yet. So we shall see. We'll see where that goes. Then we get to the meat and the potatoes. The meat and the potatoes is the Elena and Nate, right? Nate is crying like a baby because I did all this for you and you are going to leave. You are putting your career ahead of us. You're putting that ahead of us. That's what you accused me of. And I gave it up. I'm thinking, Nate, shut up. We're talking now. That bread hasn't even cooled off yet with you telling what you did. It's been, well, weeks. It hasn't really been months, but probably a good month. You've been scheming and just doing your thing, ignoring her complaining, right? So anyway, she's like, for one, you did that for you. She said, I didn't ask you to do that. I didn't ask you to do that. But that's what you were complaining. She goes, but see, Nate, even now that you've done what you've done, she said, do you understand? Do you really finally understand that what you were doing is wrong? It was wrong. He couldn't, no, you just didn't like it. He still could see that the lying, the insider trading, all of that, he still can't see that was wrong. He's just said, okay, you just can't live with it. So finally, if I got to make a choice, I'll make a choice. I'll come up with something else that is fundamentally without character and without integrity. And I will dive right into that. That's exactly what I'm going to dive into, because I'm going to make up my own reasons as to why I'm doing it. So she said, you know what? I can't. Me coming back, I can't wonder when's the next time, you know, something like this is going to come up. She says, I need time for myself. Even if I don't get the job, I'm not coming back. She says, and I think you need time for yourself as well. And he's like, but she goes, I'm, sorry, I got to go. She's like, I'm still leaving. She left him sitting right there on that couch, like, uh-oh, what happened, right? And so then he decides to pick up the phone and he calls Victoria. Victoria, we have to meet. I need to let you know what's happened. So then they had scenes for next week's Young and the Restless. And the scenes are he's sitting across from Victoria and she's saying, I want to offer you a job. I have a position for you. Now, we don't know what story he's going to spin as to why the information came out. It's funny, I got a great comment in Comment Corner I'm going to get to a little bit later where it says he probably says Elena told, outed him. So he had to come clean. We'll see. I don't see Nate just say, I don't know. But a job with Victoria, he thought working for Chancellor Winters was tough on him. Whoa, wait till Victoria puts him into the school of Victoria Newman. That's going to be an eye opener. And I'm looking forward to that, Nate. So anyway, we have Comment Corner. Let me go to the comments here. We have Libby saying, looks like from the previews, yeah, Nate is going to pull a real snake move. I bet he told Victoria that Elena, yep, it was Libby that said outed him and cost him his job. We shall see. I just don't see him coming, full transparency with Victoria. And Robin says, yes, Nate shocked us, but he still doesn't see that he was wrong in what he was doing. And he only told just to keep Elena. So I'm glad she didn't stay with them. I'm glad too, Robin, that she did not stay with them. Audra looks scared because she's working for Tucker and she's not sure if she was caught. I know she sure was. She was standing there holding like, oh no, woo, my goodness. This is Lily and Devon. We're good to cousin Nate. Shame on Nate. But he sees it different. Yeah, he does. He sees that everything is Devon's fault. His whole life is Devon's fault because of his hand. Not that Devon punched him because you slept with my girlfriend. And it may even, not just his girlfriend. Elena and Devon, I think, were engaged. I think they were engaged. Yeah, Nate. And Libby says, but Billy has the self-awareness to know that he's not corporate material. He sure does. I'm proud of Billy for finally saying, you know what, I'm gonna stick with you through this, but this isn't me. You're right. This is just not me. Um, and he, let's see, material and his grandiose about his abilities in the way that Nate, yeah, he's not. Billy is not boastful about anything he could do because Billy doesn't know if he can do anything. And that's unfortunate. Billy has never understood or found any true potential. Even with the Grinning Soul, when it was gaining popularity, his podcast, he was just bearing his soul. He really still wasn't thinking that this is a talent I may have. He was just doing it for therapy. Okay. So, and then Libby finishes up saying Nate has lost his dang mind. Yes, he has. And Nancy says Jerry Douglas, that's the actor that played John Abbott, passed away in real life. Ooh, so we're coming upon a year, November 9th, 2021. I knew it was either last year or this year, but she checked Google and she found the actual date. I thought John, the actor that played John Abbott, died. And the Foxy Lady 14 says, girl, we shared the same excitement about Nate's betrayal reveal. I didn't see it coming in that way. And it made it all the more delicious. The Adam Sally Nick is probably going to go the way you laid it out with that, the not knowing who the daddy thing is. Ugh. Sally and Adam are perfect together. They really are. Nick's family will be resistant to his involvement with Sally. Medora said the actor died, talking about the John Abbott's actor, Jerry Douglas, in 2021, November. Thank you, Medora. Thank you for, thank you, Young and the Restless fellow fans, for diving in and looking up some facts that I don't have time to look up all the facts. So I love it when you all just go in and, Google and find it out, then bring it back to us. I love that. And Lisa said that she's surprised that Billy doesn't sympathize with Nate. His explanation is what Billy is going through. No. And you want to know why I disagree with that? Billy is going through not knowing who he is and not feeling that he's contributing really to anything, that he's not valuable. He knows he's doing a good job at Chancellor Winters, but he's not doing a phenomenal job. He's not doing a job that's breaking ground. He's not doing a job that's really moving the company forward with innovation. He's just going through the motions. Lily has to say, Billy, can you handle this? Billy, can you handle that call? Billy, can you? Billy is not stepping up like, this is my mother's company. He showed more emotion when he looked at Nate and said, you betrayed my mother. See, even though his mother is letting Lily run Chancellor over him, Jill is his mother, and Jill knows her son. She knows it. She knows he is not corporate material. He just never has been. He just doesn't know what his forte is. I don't know. I really don't know what his forte. You would think it'd be. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what Billy's forte would be. Maybe running a television studio. I don't know. And then one thing that when then Billy compared Nate to Ashlyn, he said, well, he really said, no, now we know why Ashlyn saw potential in you. And Ashlyn said that's because, that whole betrayal, he knew that, that lying stuff was in Nate, in that ambition, right? And then Lisa said, but Nate was the one that revealed the truth about Ashlyn. Yeah, ultimately, it was Nate. This is before they decided to make it like Nate was so unhappy being chief of surgery. He was still happy working. He was happy because he was still over doctors. He wasn't doing surgery, but before he became chief of surgery, Nate had a position of more prominence there at that hospital, right? But that wasn't good enough for him. And then Lisa also said, did you see Audra's reaction? That could have been her. Yep, it could have been her. Because she sure has been telling Tucker everything. But you know what? We don't know what the Tucker's involvement is with that. And then Dito says, hey, Libby, um, there's your daddy story. There's your who's the daddy storyline. Nick or Adams, we will definitely see. And then Libby says, hope Sally stands firm. In a way, I hope Elena stands firm. Well, Elena's gonna be out. She's out of there now. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. I learned that from Maya Angelou's quote. Not that I was always as stalwart as I needed to be. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's hard to stand firm. And then Dito says, Elena will hopefully come back. I think if they see a need for Elena to come back, she'll be back. But it is so true when you, I'm going to finish your comment, Ditos, because they just have not given Elena anything to work with. Because she says, comes back, but she has to come back to Devon to give her a better storyline. Before the storyline of Nate's betrayal and his family, we always saw her as tired of working double shifts. Yeah, Elena has just been tired. She's been exhausted. She's been burning candles at every end. She has not been happy with her life. You know, not that she was frustrated with Nate. She was just always laying on the couch after 12-hour shifts. She was always, and then volunteering at the clinic. She needed to find a balance in herself that Elena had not found. So, and then Aditos ends with LOL, see daily recap lady, told you so. Okay. And then Rosalind said, John is dead. Yes, he is, Rosalind. And Libby says, I know John is dead now, but I'm not sure when he died. I haven't been watching the show for ages. They aren't saying Diane abandoned Kyle, or they are saying Diane abandoned Kyle when he was 9. Plus, in soap opera years, characters age unrealistically. And John didn't have to live in LA just to visit on occasions. I just thought it was odd that they mentioned John drove a Bentley. And if Naya had triplets or half triplets, that would be funny. Well, listen, John died a long, long time ago on the show. On the show, unfortunately, John went to jail. And if anybody can remember, why did John Abbott go to jail? Didn't it have something to do with Gloria? You know what? That's going to be our trivia, our history, our Y&R history. I'm going to look, and I want someone else to look too, or a lot of us look. Let's look up, why did John Abbott go to jail? What year was that? What year was Kyle born? This is just kind of to give Libby a little history. Bottom line, and did John ever come out of prison? I think the show had him die in jail, and I just never understood why they did that. Or if he did get out, he died like right after he got out. It was just, I don't know why they abruptly killed John Abbott off of the show. I really don't. And then kept him on for years as a ghost. Gee, you know, Lashunta says he still didn't think he's done anything wrong. You know, he's mad at Elena for still leaving. Billy did worse. You know, but Billy's Billy. You expect the worst out of Billy. Nate was always better. He would not give Vicky up. Devon went to Lily, and it's about his hand. Yeah, it is about his hand. He let Devon think it was Tucker, but he's shady. Lily too naive. She still want to go public. Come on, nobody should be listening to Lily at all. And Devon kept saying no. Well, Devon needs to now come back and not just keep saying no, saying it's not going to happen. I'm going to tell y'all right now, this ain't going to happen this year, period, if ever. Nope. So those are all the comments on Comment Corner for the Young and the Restless. Thank you very much. So please, let's look at that trivia. When did John Abbott go to prison, and why? Why did he go to prison? And did he die there? And when was Kyle born? Just to kind of get an age line on how old was Kyle before John died. So everyone have a phenomenal weekend. Let's dive into some YouTube, some Google, and get these facts done. I will be back on Monday for the next daily recap of The Young and the Restless.